Kerrang! Magazine was often wedged behind the pipe in our toilet. One needed a diversion in those days before scrolling on mobile phones. On perusing the latest copy one evening, in the rear of the mag was a section for pen pals. Yes, people did actually still write to each other in the 1990s, and in a vague attempt to meet women, I sat and considered this. 18-year-old female, motorhead freak, seeks similar to discuss further, West Midlands, went the ad. What was more interesting was she was in my area. I jotted down a few lines and posted them after the box number. Some weeks later, having totally forgotten about this rash step, I got a reply. This included a phone number, which, after much working up to it, I rang. We chatted about various bands and local places where gigs were held. I found out she was only about 3 miles away from where I lived. After another chat on the phone, her ringing me this time, we arranged to meet up for a drink that Friday. I washed my hair specially, put on my black shirt with the Lost Boys print on the back, and borrowed Gran's mini Mayfair, my old mini estate having long since succumbed to various different issues, and I figured that a Bedford TK lorry would do little to impress. Arriving at Carly's house, I was greeted by her older sister, then mother. After an excruciating wait in their kitchen, attempting polite small talk, making an entrance down the stairs in her no doubt best little black dress. More chat was endured whilst coats were located and shoes put on. Getting into Nan's Mini, I told her where we were heading, this being the bikers' pub I had much frequented, as they had a band on that night. It was an okay evening. The music was good, we chatted a fair bit, with conversation not difficult, largely because I think neither of us particularly fancied the other. I took her home later, kissed her cheek, and left. Nothing to write home about, really. Later that week, rather surprisingly, I got a call in the yard, but even more surprised when another date was requested. Out of politeness, I arranged to pick her up, by this time at the end of her parents' drive, hoping to avoid any need for small talk. Upon my arrival, it was not my date that greeted me, but her older sister, Danielle. As I had surmised, Carly had not really been too struck on me. But in an odd twist, as life often throws at you, her sister had thought I was cute while we had talked waiting for her sibling the previous weekend. Slightly shorter than me, thin dark brown hair, glasses and a nervous laugh, I was more than pleased with this outcome. Driving along in the sunny evening, we seemed to be getting along just fine. I drove us to a pub right up on top of the hillside, and we sat enjoying the view from the railings across the road from the bar. She was 20 and taking a year out from studies. Having suffered from ME during most of school time, a lot of her studies had been done at a special education unit in the city. Boom! That's when the penny dropped. We had been at the same place, years before. I just couldn't place her among the pregnant or postnatal teenage girls at the centre, the one I hardly bothered to attend before finishing my education completely. Gran was getting a little testy about my having the car 2 evenings in a row, but thankfully, her mother's union meeting, or whatever it was, had been cancelled. This time we took in for a walk around the old quarry, finishing up back at our yard for a coffee in my caravan. By the time subsequent passions had been quenched, it was well after midnight when I got home. After a few more meetings, all pleasant and fun, it became clear this was not to be a long-term thing. She was preparing to go back to university, and neither of us was after a long distance, long term relationship. In retrospect, I suspect that the straw that broke the camel's back came in the shape of my showing up in the old Bedford TK, this to collect her one evening. Gran had finally put her foot down about my using her car, and unluckily, the girl's parents were present to witness this tired old truck's arrival for their eldest daughter. Words were no doubt had, and I didn't hear any more from her going back to university, even though she liked making my orange beacon flash. Hello there. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed this and would like to hear more crazy stories from the 90s, please subscribe to my channel. Really is appreciated. Cheers. Take care.